Hey, welcome back. My guest in this segment is Michael Kadonoff. He's the CEO of Braingrid Corporation, which is soon to be trading. Michael, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Let's start with an overview. Michael, what is the business of Braingrid?
Braingrid is a technology company presently servicing the cannabis industry with wireless monitoring in real time for cannabis producers. We're a first mover, if not the first mover, as a soon-to-be public company that's providing ancillary services to this cannabis industry. So the name simple goal is reduce costs, reduce risks, ensure compliance, and really just ensure some peace of mind for these growers as they scale up in this industry.
Sure. So what kind of metrics is it that you're gathering?
Well, we start by basically capturing the roots and the canopy of the plant, to be really frank, on the cultivation side. But cultivation is not where we only go. So, for instance, humidity, temperature, CO2 and the air quality, pH, electrical conductivity or AC, and a variety of other things that go on in the roots. But we don't stop there. We talk about everything about the facility, including the drying room or curing room sometimes. Sometimes it's a vault too. Mm-hmm. The server rooms, sometimes we need to make sure that the servers don't lose their HVAC. So anything that can really cost a business money, time, or grief, frankly, is something we can capture in real time to give the grower and the finance bodies operational oversight.
So you deploy a device array throughout the entire building that goes onto all systems, monitors all functions, and reports back to a central interface where operators can detect problems before they arise?
Exactly. It's not just about what's going on right now and alarms that come with it and the dashboards that come with it, but it's about where we're taking it next. Braingrid is a technology company that has a piece of hardware that's patented. However, that doesn't make us a hardware company. We're actually a data company, and where we're taking it next is in the AI and machine learning realm to really say things like, your HVAC is showing signs of wear. It will fail in the next week. Before it fails.
Right.
You know, that's a catastrophic shutdown. And we hear some sad stories in the industry that are completely avoidable if they were monitoring.
So then does this qualify as an Internet of Things company, so to speak?
Yeah, actually it does. It's an industrial Internet of Things company. That's right.
Interesting. So then what is the sort of revenue model?
It's a subscription as a service, but where we differ in terms of service companies, unlike other service companies in this industry, we don't charge per head or per licensed person. If you look at other industries, even traditional agriculture, the number of people are decreasing or stagnating at best, and labor shortages are everywhere, especially in the States. So our product and the way we model it is a subscription as a service. It's about 10 cents a square foot on average. It's just a ballpark. It varies a little bit. And a setup fee of about 25 cents to $1 per square foot. But again, we slide between CapEx and OpEx depending on the customer's requirements. So if they want an upfront on their 2-year, we can provide just an upfront fee that covers the entirety of that contract length.
Okay, and you have, as your clients currently Beleave is one of them. Do you have others?
Yes, and publicly I can mention these ones.
Okay.
There are more than this. Beleave, WeedMD, we've been in cannabis since 2016 with them.
Okay.
Very early, learned a lot with them. We've got Leaf Cannabis out in California.
Right. And you've got partnerships with Ample Organics, Rent to Grow. What's the nature of the partnerships?
Well, these two partners are absolutely imperative to understand how valuable they are. Because if you look at the market, you zoom out, you see the commercial side with the LPs, and then the micro growing side where the people like you and me can grow up to 4 plants yourself, legally now, as of the 17th. We've got partnerships in both of those areas. So with Ample, what we're essentially doing is coming in from the top down on the decision makers with our relationship. It's an agreement we formed over a year ago. And what we're doing is something called data-driven growing. You know, Ample knows the outputs of these facilities. They understand what the growers are doing and who's consuming the product from the patient level. We understand what goes on in the grow from an environmental standpoint, from an operational standpoint, but connecting those dots is the holy grail of growing. It isolates what's best practices and worst practices. And just to highlight what I'm saying is we've launched with WeedMD and Beleave an AI platform where we combine the yield information with the environmental data, the operational data, the energy use, which is actually one of the biggest cost drivers in cannabis facilities, which I can talk about more later. But closing that loop with Ample from the output to the input side is very, very important. On the other side of the market, the micro growers, we're working with Rent to Grow or RTG, and think of them as make your own wine for cannabis. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, just because you can grow stuff in your basement or your house, you may not want to or not be allowed to legally. In Manitoba and Quebec, for instance, you're not allowed to. And the condo boards usually don't allow it either, and everywhere else. So Rent-A-Grow is here to have anywhere from 100 to 900 of these pods in a large warehouse facility in which you rent, you and me and anybody else can rent a place to grow 4 plants. We have an exclusive arrangement with them to monitor, control everything, babysit. So you can be sitting on your phone out in Muskoka or Hawaii and watch your 4 plants growing, literally.
So that's interesting. So Rent-to-Grow has obviously achieved a legislative sort of compromise with the government of Ontario that allows me to transfer my right to grow 4 plants at my home to their facility?
Yes, that's my understanding.
Wow.
And as far as I understand, in Colorado as well, where they're headquartered, they've had a lot of subscriptions, a lot of interest, and they're really just looking to secure building sites at this point.
That's interesting. I'll be interested to follow up with that. Now, so you've just raised $670,000 in a pre-go public transaction. What is the sort of economic picture look like for the company going out 6-12 months from today?
Well, before I answer that question, it's actually more than 670. We've closed our round of $2 million.
Oh, okay. So you raised $2 million.
Yeah, so that allows us to do our reverse takeover, our amalgamation with Match Capital Resources, which has been approved by both shareholders, both sides of the shareholders. The placement was for 80 cents a unit and a $1 full warrant for 24 months. We've seen some good traction with institutions, repeat investment, which is a good sign and a good confidence builder for us.
Yeah.
It demonstrates that they understand why we're valuable and why we're positioned well in this new industry. So very happy to be going public in just a few days.
Well, that's kind of exciting. I congratulate you on your go public strategy.
Thank you.
We're going to follow the company with interest, have you back, and see how your company is doing in a quarter. Thanks for joining me, Mike.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
And we're back.